Welcome, dear listener, to Learn English with Sara. In today's video, we will explore an inspiring story that teaches not only English, but also one of the most powerful life lessons: why the greatest investment you can ever make is in yourself. So sit back, listen carefully, and let the story unfold. My friend, let me begin with a simple question. What is the best investment a person can ever make in life? Some might say buying land. Others will argue that it is investing in the stock market, while some believe the answer is starting a business. But the truth is this: the greatest investment is not in gold, not in property, not even in a successful company. The best investment is in yourself. This may sound simple, but it is a truth that shapes destinies. When you grow your skills, your knowledge, and your character, you create a foundation that can never be destroyed. You may lose money, jobs, or possessions, but what you become stays with you forever. Let me share with you the story of two friends, David and Michael. They grew up in the same small town, walking the same streets, and sharing the same childhood dreams. Both came from ordinary families with parents who worked hard but had little extra money. They went to the same school, laughed at the same jokes, and spent evenings talking about what their futures might look like. In every way, their starting point in life was nearly identical. But after finishing school, the two boys made different choices, and those choices would one day create two very different lives. David believed that life was meant to be easy. He wanted comfort above all else. He found a simple job that gave him just enough money to pay his bills. But when he returned home in the evenings, he spent his hours in front of the television, scrolling endlessly on his phone, or chatting with friends who also had little ambition. He told himself, "I don't want more stress. I just want to enjoy life day by day." At first, this lifestyle seemed pleasant. David felt free because he avoided effort. But year by year, his comfort began to turn into a trap. His job never changed because he never learned new skills. His boss never promoted him, and his salary barely covered his needs. He felt tired, unmotivated, and secretly jealous of others who seemed to be moving forward. Yet deep inside, David knew the truth. He had stopped investing in himself. Michael, however, thought differently. He too took a job after school, but he made a quiet decision that changed everything. He would not waste his evenings. Instead of spending hours with empty distractions, he picked up books. He read about success, business, and personal growth. He listened to audio lessons during his commute. He joined a local group to practice public speaking, even though at first his voice shook and his face grew red with nerves. Michael also made his health a priority. He exercised regularly, even if it was just 20 minutes of running after work. He drank more water, ate healthier food, and made sure he rested well. Slowly but surely, he noticed changes. His energy increased, his focus sharpened, and his confidence grew. He told himself, "If I become more valuable each year, then opportunities will follow." Now let us move forward in time, 10 years later. The lives of these two friends looked very different. David was still in the same position at work, still unhappy with his small salary, and still complaining about his boss. His health had declined, his energy was low, and he felt older than his age. He kept the same habits, the same worries, and the same excuses. His life had hardly moved at all. Michael's story, on the other hand, was a story of progress. Because he kept learning, he had been promoted several times. His colleagues respected him because he could communicate clearly and confidently. He had even started a small business on the side, using the skills he had developed. His health was strong, his mind was positive, and his future looked brighter every year. People admired him and came to him for advice. So what was the difference between David and Michael? Both started in the same place. Both had the same background. Both faced challenges. But only one of them chose to invest in himself day after day. That decision created a life of growth, while the other remained stuck. This story reminds us of a powerful truth. Life is not about where you start, but how much you grow. Comfort feels good in the moment, but it keeps you trapped. Growth feels hard at first, but over time it leads to confidence, success, and freedom. So, my friend, the question is, will you wait for life to change, or will you invest in yourself and build the future you dream of? When we think about the journey of David and Michael, it becomes clear that the difference between success and stagnation lies in one choice: the choice to invest in yourself. But what does it really mean to make that investment? It is not always about money. It is about where you direct your time, energy, and attention each day. Imagine for a moment that your life is like a garden. A garden is filled with beauty, peace, and growth, but only if you care for it. If you plant good seeds, water them regularly, and protect them from weeds, it becomes full of flowers, fruits, and fresh life. But if you ignore it, weeds and thorns quickly take over, and the garden becomes dry, messy, and full of problems. Your life works in the same way. Your mind, your body, and your character are the soil of your personal garden. If you take care of them, they will reward you with wisdom, strength, and confidence. But if you neglect them, laziness, fear, and regret will grow instead. Think about your mind. If you feed it with books, knowledge, and positive ideas, it blooms with creativity and confidence. You begin to see possibilities where others see only obstacles. But if you fill it with gossip, negativity, and meaningless distractions, doubts and fears take root. Suddenly, the garden of your mind becomes weak and dry. Now think about your body. It is the foundation on which every dream must stand. If you nourish it with healthy food, keep it active with exercise, and let it rest with proper sleep, it becomes strong, energetic, and reliable. With a healthy body, you can chase your goals with more focus and endurance. But if you neglect it with junk food, no exercise, and no rest, sickness and fatigue will appear. Like weeds in an abandoned field, poor health will slowly take over, making your dreams harder to reach. Finally, consider your character. This is the deepest part of your garden, the soil that holds everything else together. If you water it with honesty, discipline, and kindness, you become a person who is respected and trusted. But if you neglect it, bad habits, dishonesty, and laziness will spread like thorns, destroying the trust and opportunities you once had. Investing in yourself, then, is like watering your garden every day. It might feel small at first, reading one page, exercising for a few minutes, practicing a skill for just a short time. But over weeks, months, and years, these actions transform your life. Just as a garden does not bloom overnight, your personal growth also takes time. But when you are consistent, the results are extraordinary. Let us compare self-investment with financial investment. If you put money in the bank, it grows slowly with interest, perhaps 5 or 10% each year. That is good, but limited. If you put effort into yourself, however, the growth is unlimited. The return is not 5% or 10%. It can be 1,000%, because the growth touches every part of your life. For example, if you learn how to communicate better, you will not only improve your job performance, but also your relationships with family and friends. If you take care of your health, you will not only feel stronger, but also think more clearly and have more energy to pursue your dreams. If you strengthen your mindset, you will not only handle challenges better, but also see opportunities where others see obstacles. One small investment in yourself creates ripples across every area of your life. To see the difference, imagine 2 scenarios. In the first, you spend money on a new phone. After a year or two, that phone becomes old, slow, and less valuable. In the second, you spend the same money on learning a skill, perhaps digital marketing or public speaking. That skill never becomes outdated. In fact, it grows more valuable with time, and you carry it with you wherever you go. It continues to open doors and create opportunities again and again. This is the difference between spending and investing. Spending gives you short-term pleasure, but investing in yourself gives you long-term freedom. That is why successful people never fear losing. They may lose a job, money, or possessions, but they know that as long as they have their skills, knowledge, and character, they can start again. They understand that true wealth lies not outside, but inside. That is why the first step towards success is not waiting for the world to change. It is changing yourself. Many people live with backward thinking. They say, if I get a better job, then I will work harder. If I earn more money, then I will learn new skills. If I meet the right people, then I will become confident. But the truth is, the outside world always follows the inside. If you grow, your life grows. If you improve, your opportunities improve. If you become stronger, your results become stronger. The world does not shape you. You shape the world around you by the person you decide to become. So, my friend, ask yourself, what kind of garden are you growing inside? Are you letting weeds of laziness and regret take over? Or are you planting seeds of learning, discipline, and courage? Because in the end, your life will always reflect what you have chosen to plant. Now that we understand the power of investing in ourselves, let us look more closely at how this can be done in practical, everyday ways. Many people believe that self-investment requires huge amounts of money or dramatic life changes, but in truth, it is built on small, daily decisions. These choices, repeated over time, create extraordinary results. The first and perhaps most powerful investment is in learning. Knowledge is the key that unlocks opportunities. Every skill we use at work, every problem we solve, and every chance we take begins with knowledge. If you stop learning, you stop growing. Investing in your mind does not always mean going to school or earning degrees. It can mean reading books, listening to useful audio lessons, watching educational videos, or joining online courses. Each book adds a new idea to your mind. Each lesson makes you sharper. Every new piece of knowledge equips you with tools that can never be taken away. Some people argue that books and courses are expensive, but ignorance is far more costly. Think about how many opportunities are missed simply because a person did not know what to do. One idea from a single book can save years of mistakes. One skill learned from a course can completely change a career. So never underestimate the return of knowledge. Even 30 minutes of learning each day adds up to hundreds of hours of growth in a year. Imagine who you could become if you gave yourself this daily gift. The second area of self-investment is health. A person may have money, skills, or even power, but without health, none of it can be enjoyed. Your body is the foundation of everything you build in life. If it is weak, everything else will eventually crumble. That is why caring for your body is one of the smartest investments you can make. Eat food that strengthens you, not just food that gives momentary pleasure. Drink enough water, because even the sharpest mind cannot function in a dehydrated body. Sleep well, because rest is not laziness, it is recovery. Move your body every day, whether through exercise, walking, or stretching. When your body is strong, your energy multiplies, your focus sharpens, and your motivation rises. But when your health is ignored, no amount of wealth can buy it back later. You can replace a car or a house, but you cannot replace your one body. The third way to invest in yourself is by shaping your mindset. Your thoughts build the reality you live in. If you think small, your life remains small. If you think negatively, problems seem bigger than they are. But if you train your mind to think positively, to believe in growth and possibilities, then opportunities will naturally come your way. A strong mindset is not about ignoring difficulties. It is about facing them with courage and creativity. You can build this kind of mindset by reading motivational stories, surrounding yourself with positive people, writing down your goals, and practicing gratitude each day. When your thoughts are strong, you see solutions instead of problems. You rise again after setbacks. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What can I learn from this?" The fourth way is to build valuable skills. Skills are what make you useful to the world, and the world rewards value. People are not paid for their wishes, they are paid for their abilities. If two people work the same hours, the one with greater skills will always earn more and create more opportunities. This is why learning skills such as communication, leadership, problem-solving, or technology is so important. Each new skill is like adding a tool to your toolbox. The more tools you have, the more problems you can solve. And the more problems you solve, the more valuable you become. If you want higher income or more freedom, do not simply demand it. Become so skilled that people cannot ignore you. The fifth way is to invest in relationships. No one succeeds alone. Behind every great achievement are mentors, partners, friends, and supporters. Relationships are a form of wealth, and just like money, they can either grow or disappear depending on how you treat them. Good relationships can open doors and give guidance. Bad relationships can pull you down and waste your energy. Learn to listen, communicate, and support others. Do not only ask what others can give you, ask what you can give to them. Be reliable, be kind, and choose carefully who you spend your time with. If you surround yourself with ambitious, disciplined, and positive people, you will naturally rise higher with them. And finally, the sixth way is to invest in your character. Your character is who you are when no one is watching. It is your honesty, your discipline, your courage, and your values. Without character, money and skills will eventually be lost. People may admire talent, but they only trust character. A dishonest person may rise quickly, but they fall just as quickly. A person of integrity may take longer to succeed, but their success will last. So keep your promises, practice honesty, and remain disciplined in the small choices of everyday life. Character is not built in one day. It is built through consistent actions over time, until it becomes part of who you are. These 6 areas, learning, health, mindset, skills, relationships, and character, are the true forms of wealth. Each step you take in these directions multiplies your value in ways that no one can ever take away from you. When we talk about investing in yourself, it is easy to become excited about the rewards. But there is another side to this truth that must be faced honestly: the pain of not investing. Often, what truly pushes us to change is not only the dream of success, but also the fear of regret. Ignoring your growth has consequences, and the cost is far greater than people realize. Let us begin with learning. The world is moving forward faster than ever before. Technology changes, industries shift, and opportunities appear and disappear quickly. If you do not continue to learn, you will be left behind. Ignorance is not free. It is very expensive. While others who keep learning step into better jobs, stronger careers, and brighter futures, those who remain stagnant find themselves stuck in the same place, unable to keep up. Each year, the gap between learners and non-learners grows wider. The pain of ignorance grows heavier with time until it becomes a weight too difficult to carry. Now think about health. At first, neglecting your body does not seem serious. You might say, "I can skip exercise today. I can eat whatever I want. I can stay up late. It does not matter." But the body keeps score. Slowly, your energy drops. You wake up tired. You cannot focus properly. You fall sick more often. And when middle age or old age arrives, the problems become worse. Serious illness, medical bills, and daily pain. All of this could have been prevented with small, consistent care earlier in life. Ignoring health is like ignoring the foundation of a house. Eventually, the entire structure will collapse. Consider the mind. If you do not train your thoughts, negativity will take over naturally. Fear, doubt, and worry will become your constant companions. You will hesitate when opportunities arise, and instead of acting with courage, you will choose comfort and safety, missing your chance to grow. A weak mindset is like a prison. You may be alive, but you are not free. Life feels smaller, harder, and darker when your mind is not strong enough to believe in new possibilities. Then, there are skills. In today's world, skills are like currency. If you do not build them, you remain stuck in jobs with low pay and little respect. You will always feel replaceable because anyone can do the same work as you. Without valuable skills, you cannot demand more income, you cannot stand out, and you cannot create opportunities. Watching others move forward while you stay behind is one of the most painful feelings in life, and it comes simply from choosing comfort instead of growth. Finally, think about character. Without strong character, even the most talented person eventually loses everything. A person may rise quickly through lies or shortcuts, but trust once broken is difficult to rebuild. People may smile at you, but deep inside they will not respect or support you. A reputation of dishonesty or laziness closes doors that might otherwise lead to success. Without character, long-term success is impossible. So remember this truth. Not investing in yourself is the most expensive mistake you can ever make. You may think you are saving time, money, or energy, but in reality you are losing your future. The price of regret is always greater than the price of discipline. The pain of staying the same is far greater than the effort of growing. But here is the good news. Growth does not require giant leaps. Many people become discouraged because they think they must change everything at once, learn everything, exercise every day, become perfect immediately. But that is not how true growth works. Self-investment is about small, consistent steps. It is the little actions, repeated every day, that create powerful change. Think about planting a seed. At first it looks fragile and tiny. For weeks you may see no results, but beneath the soil roots are forming. Slowly, a sprout appears. With care and time, that sprout becomes a tree, strong enough to give fruit and shade for years. In the same way, each small effort you make, reading 10 pages, exercising for 20 minutes, practicing a skill, listening to a useful lesson, may seem unimportant today, but it is building roots that will one day transform your life. The power of repetition is unstoppable. One day of reading will not make you wise, but 1 year of daily reading will transform your mind. One workout will not make you strong, but a year of consistent exercise will completely change your body. One attempt at practicing a skill will not make you an expert, but years of persistence will make you stand out from the crowd. Growth is not about perfection. It is about persistence. Another benefit of small steps is that they remove fear and pressure. When you focus on what you can do today, you no longer feel overwhelmed by how far you must go. Each small action becomes proof that you can improve. Each small win builds momentum, and momentum creates motivation. When you keep moving forward little by little, you suddenly realize that you have traveled far. Imagine yourself 1 year from today if you began small steps right now. Your body would be stronger, your mind sharper, your skills more valuable, and your opportunities greater. Your confidence would rise, your relationships would improve, and your future would feel brighter than ever. That is the quiet power of small, daily choices. They grow silently, but their impact lasts a lifetime. My friend, let me leave you with the most powerful truth of all. You are your greatest asset. You are the most important project you will ever work on. You are the best investment you will ever make in your life. No bank account, no property, no business, no expensive object can ever compare to the return of investing in yourself. Think about this carefully. If you buy new shoes, they will eventually wear out. If you buy new clothes, they will fade, tear, or go out of style. If you buy a car, it will break down and lose its value. If you buy the latest phone, in a few years it will be outdated and slow. But when you invest in yourself, the return never fades. If you buy a book, the ideas and knowledge stay with you forever. If you take a course, the skills you learn will serve you for the rest of your life. If you take care of your health, your body will reward you with more years of strength and energy. If you build your character, people will trust and respect you for a lifetime. These are investments that cannot be stolen, cannot be destroyed, and cannot be lost. It is true that self-investment takes time. Many people become impatient because they want instant results. They want to see success tomorrow. But growth is like planting a tree. At first, you water the seed and nothing seems to happen. For weeks, there is no visible change. But beneath the ground, roots are spreading. Then slowly, a small plant rises. Over time, it becomes strong, unshakable, and full of life. In the same way, every page you read, every new skill you practice, every workout you complete, every moment of discipline you choose, they may seem small now, but they are building a future you cannot yet see. And then one day, it all comes together. You stand before others with confidence they do not understand. You see opportunities they cannot recognize. You enjoy health, energy, and strength that many wish they had. People will call you lucky, but you will know the truth. It was not luck. It was years of consistent investment in yourself. Think of Michael's story again. At first, his progress was small, invisible even. While his friend David spent evenings watching television, Michael spent those hours reading, practicing, and growing. For a while, the difference did not seem big, but year after year, the gap widened. Eventually, Michael built a life of respect, confidence, and freedom, while David remained stuck, tired, and full of regret. That is the true power of self-investment. So, what about you? Will you wait for life to change, or will you change yourself first? Will you spend your time on temporary pleasures that fade quickly, or will you invest in habits and knowledge that grow stronger with time? Will you live like David, choosing comfort that slowly becomes a cage, or will you live like Michael, choosing growth that leads to freedom? Your life is like a garden, and you are the gardener. Something will grow, whether you choose it or not. If you plant seeds of discipline, courage, and learning, your garden will bloom with opportunities, wisdom, and joy. If you neglect it, weeds of fear, laziness, and regret will take over. The choice is yours, and every day you delay is a day that could have been filled with growth. But here is the beauty of this truth. It is never too late. No matter your age, no matter your past, you can begin today. You can pick up a book, go for a walk, learn a skill, or simply decide to think differently. Small steps, repeated daily, will change your life. Over time, the results will be greater than anything money can buy. So, my friend, decide today. Invest in your learning. Invest in your health. Invest in your mindset. Invest in your skills, your relationships, and your character. Make it a daily habit. Do it consistently, and one day you will look back and realize something incredible. You have built a life of meaning, strength, and success. Remember, the most important truth of all, Your greatest investment is you. Start now and let the returns change your life forever. Thank you for listening to this story on Learn English with Sara. If you enjoyed it, please like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment about what part of this story inspired you the most. Your support helps us create more stories that improve your English and inspire your life.